Hey, party people, people who love to party. It's me, Mr. Beal, here to talk to you about some measures of central tendency. This is the beginning of our stat unit. So I know that you're getting this video early because we haven't done the benchmark yet. This stuff is not going to be on the benchmark that you're taking this week, okay? And then if you're watching this like in some other crazy week where we don't even have a benchmark, then nothing that I'm saying right now matters. All right. Well, we're going to start with me sharing my screen for you, which has on it the data spread. So this is the materials that you should have down. And the first thing we're going to accomplish is we're going to make a line plot. We're going to make a line plot out of the birth months. And a line plot is just a handy way to look at some data so that you can tell whether your data is skewed or not. I have already drawn a line. You will need to do so as well. Voila! My line has got 12 spots for the 12 birth months. And we are going to put a dot every time, or a dot above one of these numbers, every time we have a birth month that corresponds with the number. So if you look up top, our first one is 5. That means on my line, I'm going to put a dot above 5. Wow, super complex. Okay, now we're going to put a dot above 7 because that's the next one. And I'm just going down this row. 11, 2, 10, 3, 1, 4, 7. Now we already have 7. We already have a dot there, so we're going to put the dot on top. That tells us how frequent that particular piece of data is. It's 2. Let's see, putting on the 6, the 9, 10. Ooh, we got one above as well. And 11. Oh my God. And above 1. Ooh. 6, 5, 8. Finally got the 8 in there. 9, 12, and 2. Ta-da! Our data is not particularly skewed. There's not a big old peak over here or over here. It's kind of symmetrical or flat. There you go. That's how you make a line plot. Pretty easy. Let's get to the meat of the lesson today, which is our actual measures of central tendency. How can we tell where the middle is? Our first one that we're going to be dealing with is mean. So go ahead and flip your papers over. Bam. Write this down. It says the sum of the data over the amount of data. That's what the mean is. It's also known as the average, which is probably a word that you already know. We're going to be doing the mean for a mother's age. So that's this column right here. We're going to do all those means. The first thing we have to do is add up all of these numbers, all of them. Mr. Bill, I don't want to do that. Don't care. Add them all up. You can pause it if you need to. There'll be plenty of spots where you want to pause in this one. But once you add them all up, you should get 623 over 20. Divide that by 20 and we get 31.15. That's going to come in handy later. That's the mean. We need to know how to find that. I'm pretty sure you already do know how to find that. Another one that you probably already know is the median. Let's move this on up. And the median is the middle number. And it requires that you take all of your numbers and you write them out in order. Or you have some other sort of brainy way of doing it. I wrote all the numbers out in order because that's what I had to do. And I'm looking for the middle one. So I can either count from the sides, or since I know that my data set is 20 long, I like to count. Let's see, half of 20 would be 10. And so I'm going to count to 9. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That next one would be the 10th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This next one would be the 11th one. So these two numbers are actually in the middle. They're the same distance from either end. So we want the number that's in between them. And we find that by adding them together and dividing by 2. Now, if there's only one number in the direct middle, you just take that number. You don't have to add them together and divide by 2. When you have 2, this is what you got to do. And it comes out to 30.5. So there we go. There is our median. And that takes us to the big deal, the thing that is going to take up the most time, that you are going to want to pause over and over again. You're going to get super mad at me. You're going to look up how to do it with your calculator so that you never have to do it again, even though I don't want you to do that. And that is standard deviation. Now, standard deviation has a bunch of parts. We still need those charts up there, but I have all the numbers. I've done this out ahead of time. It's as if I'm trying to teach class. Standard deviation, we got to find the mean. Did it. We then need to find the difference. So we have to take the mean and subtract it from each one of these pieces of data. I know you don't like hearing that, but that's what we got to do. We have to square all of those. Yeah, all those little numbers that we get from here, that's 20 of them. That's a lot. We got to find the mean again of those squared numbers, and then we have to square root that. So let's begin. We've got the mean. Now we're looking for the differences. The difference between 31.15 and 28, you're literally subtracting 31.15. And you're going to end up with negative 3.15. And I've got two of those. I'm going to keep track of that in my head. That way I don't have to write down two negative 3.15s. You can put it times 2 up here. Let's see, the next one will be negative 2.15 for those 29s, and there's 4 of those. Then negative 1.15, and there's another 4 of those. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see, negative 0.15. How many of those are there? Looks like 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right there. And then 0.85. And there are 2 of those bad boys. 1.85, 2 of them. There's a 2.85, a 3.85, and a 7.85. Now we don't need these times 2 and 4 numbers yet, not yet, because now we got to take each of these numbers and square them. Yes, I know you're super excited about this. I rounded all my stuff to one place when I went and squared it. So for the squares, I got 9.92, and that's still going to be times 2 when we go to find that mean again. 4.62, 1.32, 0.02, 0.72, 3.42, 8.12, 14.82, and 61.62. Now I've tried to keep these numbers with the stuff that they already go with. I'm also trying to truncate some of the work that I did so that it's clear and there aren't just a ton of numbers. But I know that this is making some of you panic and hyperventilate and take those weird breaths because it's just so much happening. I know, it's a bunch of steps. It's crazy. There's a reason why there's a button for it in the calculator. And the reason why I'm not teaching you that part is because I want you to know how to do this. The mean again. So we're going to add all these together and divide by how many. That means now we have to pay attention to this times 2, this times 4, this times 4, this times 3, this times 2, this times 2. Add up all the rest of the stuff. If you wanted to do that on your own to make sure you get the same thing I do, you should pause it right now, because otherwise I have added them all together already. That's going to be 136.5, and we're dividing it by 20 because there are 20 numbers. And that's equal to 6.825. Hey, we did it. Not really, because now we need to take the square root. The square root of 6.825, and I left this part so that I could do it in front of you, which is dumb. Now I realize that I'm doing it in front of you because I'm wasting your time. All right, it's approximately 2.61. Now, that is basically how far away from the mean these numbers are allowed to be before they're classified as a different type of number. That seems kind of vague the way that I say it, but there'll be a picture coming with this with the next lesson. If you turn this around, bam, there is our, not independent practice, but this should still be guided practice. I would like you to do this with the birth weights, which are all the 3.4s and 3.2s and whatnot. I would like you to do all that. I am going to post this on Google Classroom along with the lesson so that you can check what you did versus what I did without having to see me do it in the video, just because, oh man, it's going to take some time. Alrighty, Hey, thank you very much. Easy, short lesson today, just how to do this. There's more practice on it. Practice will make you mad. I already know. Um, Stay safe. World crazy.